that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Tech is going to continue to rally, in my opinion. You're going to see healthcare continue to rally. I think we're going to see some breath, however, as we look at the third and fourth quarter in the back half of this year in the market.
Tech, it's going to keep tech rallying. It's going to keep rallying. That's what she tells us. And no inflation. You know, I have to laugh. Today, everybody was all excited. The headline this morning, best August since 1986. You talk about cherry picking. Best August since 1986. So what? You got to go behind August, see what happened. Are you kidding? 1986 was much different than today. They didn't have just 5 stocks, tech stocks holding up the whole stock market. You know what they never tell you? Just one of the 5 tech stocks, the FANG stocks, just one, drops 10%, the market will collapse unless you can get 100 of the other S&P 500 to collectively rally 90%. Let me repeat. If one of the 5 tech stocks, if one drops just 10%, what they won't tell you, they don't want to tell you, they're hiding from you. Just one drops 10%, the market will collapse. The S&P will collapse. Because remember, if you take the S&P, 25% of the value are these stocks. If you take the Dow 30, 2 stocks, just Microsoft and Apple, they're outside the FANG stocks, but we think of them as FANG. They're 40% of the value. All the earnings are coming from these stocks. And if just one of these stocks drop, and it could easily happen. Just take China, for example. Our relationship with China is really bad. In fact, I've always said is China's going to take this market down. Banks. For heaven's sakes, nobody's still talking about the banks. Buffett. When Buffett sneezes, everybody talks about it. Becky from CNBC. As soon as she sneezes, he sends down his Gulfstream jet, puts her on it, goes up and interviews him. Not this time. He couldn't wait to get out of his bank stocks because he knows what's coming. The banks are going to collapse, just like they did in 2008, 2009. For heaven's sakes. The banks, it's over. You can't have banks giving interest rates. Think about it. Interest rates are at zero. Banks are financing homes, mortgage, fixed rates, 2.5%. Can you imagine? And I'm telling you, inflation's not 2%, it's 7%, and they're going to have to raise rates, no question about it. Inflation's going to go up, and are you kidding? The banks won't be able to raise those rates. They're locked in. Do you know how many mortgages are being written every day at 2.5%, locked in for 30 years? They can't raise those. They're dead. Buffett knows that. The biggest problem we have is the negative breath in the stock market, in the techs. Everybody's in the tech stocks. I always say, you might as well get rid of all the other stocks and just keep the tech stocks. I mean, think about it. That's all you have to do. I mean, everybody's in them. Why even have any other stocks? So, again, you got to really think about this. You got to really make sure when you're in these tech stocks, understand this. And one thing we feel good about is at least our color-coded chart identifies when institutional money is going to start pulling that money out of the tech stocks. We'll spot it, identify it, we'll get our money out, and then we'll turn around and sell short. We'll sell short. The only people that are making money with the tech stocks, remember, are the top 1 percentile and the 1/100th of 1 percentile. They're the only ones making money in the market. You know, they lied to us. If you check with Social Security, they always tell us, the fake business news networks always tell us the average income is $48,000 a year with our 160 million labor force. That's not true at all. Not true. 50% of our people are making less than $35,000 a year. 50%. That's why 50% of the people aren't in the stock market, aren't in 401ks. And the ones that are in 401ks, 38% cannot afford to participate because of their expenses. They need that money. They can't participate. So when they keep telling you, and this is the biggest problem I've been saying all along for Trump, you got 50% of your labor force that makes less than $40,000 a year. And all they hear is the stock market, how great it is. They don't want to hear about the stock market. They want to hear, when am I going to get a better job? All the jobs that's been created since Baby Bush are all terrible service jobs, low-paying service jobs. We don't have good jobs. The housing market everybody's talking about is booming for the wrong reason. The housing market booms when you have higher wages that come from higher productivity, which comes from CEOs investing money into their business, taking their profits, plowing it back into their business, buying new machinery, new equipment, so that you, the worker, can produce more. And when you produce more, it costs the company less, they give you a raise. That's how it all works. That doesn't happen today. No CEOs plow money back into their companies. They're plowing it back into their own pocket by purchasing their own stocks, company stocks, doing stock buybacks. So they get very rich, much more than they already are. Their partners in Wall Street get rich. Senators get rich. They're in the stock market. Representatives get rich. They're in the market. Nobody cares about you. And by the way, I'm so sick of hearing how the Democrats care about the people, or even the Republicans. If that was the case, why do we have so many people hardly making a living in this country, going from mailbox to mailbox, paycheck to paycheck? I don't get it. I mean, you hear both Democrats and Republicans at these conventions telling how they really care for you, the people. It's not what happens. If they did, you wouldn't be making $30,000, $35,000 a year. They'd be working on jobs. But they don't work on jobs. It's not what they work on. They don't care about you getting a good job. Everything's all politics. They don't care about jobs. But right now, the biggest thing we got to watch in this market, we're making a good money. We're again, when you get up in the morning, I always tell my members, when you get up in the morning, forget your emotion. Just forget the emotion. When you get out of bed in the morning, don't even think about the market. When the market opens, lose your emotion. Lose your opinion. Just follow your chart. If the money is going in, the chart shows it. If money's going into the market or a specific stock, the chart will show it. It'll turn green. So it means start buying it. If it starts turning yellow, it's a warning, like a yellow light. Wait a minute, something's going to happen. Money's going to come out. And when money comes out, guess what happens? The stock drops. Then green means, hey, everything's okay. And if you don't have a chart like that, how are you going to get out of this market? How do you go to know? I mean, everybody's making money in the stock market. But what they don't realize is this is a dangerous market because of the narrow breadth. Remember what I'm telling you. Just one of the 5 stocks drops 10%. You got to get 100 other S&P stocks to go up 90%. Think that'll work?
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Last week I told you that some of the stocks, I said, join the gang and follow me, because what we need is some down days. And we've been having down days because every time the market's rallying now, the smart money understands. When I say the smart money, I'm talking about the big institutional money. Big hedge funds, Wall Street, the big insurance companies, they get it. They know that this market is in real trouble. They know the market can be dangerous unless you know how to get out. If you know how to get out, it's not dangerous at all. You stay in here and keep making money, as they're going to continue to financially engineer this market to make sure it keeps going up until the election. I mean, look at the money they put in this market already. I mean, it's a real problem. I mean, for them to say the best August since 1986 makes me sick. We'll get back to that in a moment. One of the stocks I talked about was oil service stocks, OIH. Oil service, it's an ETF. So you have a basket of oil service stocks. Now, those stocks always act great. Now, I know the market, the oil sector's gotten beaten down and so forth, but believe me, you can make a fortune in the oil sector if you're just patient. Just like we did with our gold. We were patient. We waited for 6 months, and finally we hit it. That was a year ago, 2 years ago. We hit it again this year. But OIH, it's been red. It's been red since going all the way back to June, and then she started to turn green here back in August, and she's just almost ready to buy. And she's looking terrific. She's looking really good. But geez, don't buy it unless you're a member. I know you're going to do. You're going to go buy it and think, oh, I'm just going to buy it. I heard Phil say it, but I'm not going to join the gang. I'm going to save $39.95. But you're not. But how are you going to know when to add to it if you don't get my alerts, or to add to your position, or take some of your position off? You don't know. How are you going to know if you're not a gang member? But that's a great stock. Another stock that I told you last week, keep your eye on, is Carnival Cruise Line. And the market's down today. I mean, she sold off today, down 232 points, and it's holding nicely. It's only a $16.63 stock. That stock turned green in the last 4 days, looking good. If you can get above $18.40, that's going to be a great stock to buy. Why don't you just join the gang and follow me on these two for the next couple of weeks, for the next 10 days, OIH and Carnival Cruise Line. Oh, no, you're going to go buy Apple. Go buy Apple. Oh, my God. You know, this best August since 1986 or 1984, whatever, what a bunch of nonsense that is. The Federal Reserve, remember, interfered in this stock market back in 2008, 2009. We've never had an economy. We've had no real economy. Our economy is not recovered since then. It's always been propped up. Because remember, they printed money. They interfered with the free market in 2008, 2009. That crashed. They initiated what they call quantitative easing. That's the printing of money. They printed $4.5 trillion to fuel the stocks, to make sure they didn't go down, to stop them from going down. The Federal Reserve had $450 billion on their balance sheet. That's it. Now they added $4.5 trillion. Now, again, let's go back to February. After this crash here, we had the February crash, 2020. They initiated another QE, just like 2008. Nothing's changed. This is what they do. You just got to know when to get out of your stocks after they rally. So in March, the Fed printed an additional $2.5 trillion to once again artificially fuel these failing stocks, to prop them up off the March lows. So from the March lows to where we are in the end of August, these stocks rallied. But to rally it, remember, that's now a total of about $7.5 trillion they put into stocks since 2008. That's how they're rallying. There's no profits. And they announced the best August since 1984. Give me a break. Off the March lows, let's think about it. Off the March lows, including the best August since 1984, only a handful of the S&P 500 big tech stocks participated. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, they went up 107%. They've contributed year to date 107% rally and a return of 35%. But wait a minute, that's 5 stocks. The other 495 stocks, you know what the return was? Less than 5%. What are you, nuts? You talking about a narrow breadth market. They're doing all the lifting. 5 stocks are doing all the lifting. Now that's fine. We're in them. The gang's in them. We're in these stocks. We're making money. But we're going to know when to get out. You're not going to know when to get out. And you think your broker's going to call you? Or the guy managing your 401k is going to call you? What are you, nuts? I'm talking about that for a moment. It really grinds me. You know, they tell us how the average person is making $48,000 a year. That's a bunch of lies. Go check it out. Go to Social Security. Check it out. See what the average income is. Remember, the top 1%, makes $400,000 a year, net worth $4 million. The top 1/100th of 1% makes $27 million a year in pay, and their net worth is $111 million. 10% of our 160 million workforce makes $100,000. That's it. 10% of 160 million people make $100,000. 44% of all consumers can't cover their monthly expenses. 50% of our 160 million workforce make $33,000 or $2,750 a month. Listen to what I'm saying. When they tell you how great this economy is, 50% of our 160 million workforce make $33,000 or $2,750 a month. Try to make a living on $2,750. Your kids, you pay your bill. Impossible. 33% of our 160 million workforce make less than $20,000 a year. This is nuts. And they're telling us how great an economy we have. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, free for 10 days. Get your color-coded chart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. We have another stock that's working nicely. And what we look for, like a day like today, when you get a a big down day that you look for stocks that aren't going down, because when the market comes back, those are the ones that are going up. And a lot of these stocks, like the airlines, if you look at jets, okay, JETS, that's an ETF for the jets, that's doing nicely. One of the airlines, Save, which we're watching very carefully, that's doing nicely. So we got a lot of opportunities in these, what we call dog stocks. Another stock's doing terrific. It's only an $18 stock, $18.72 is that's PLAY. Dave and Buster's Entertainment. I don't even know what it is. I could care less what it is. It looks terrific. When I say look terrific, it went from red to green. It was red, meaning the institutions were pulling the money out starting on June 19th. It just turned green starting on August 24th. That's terrific. So we follow that, and then I'll tell my members, okay, we'll target it and when to buy it. But more important is when to get out of it. That's the key, when to get out of it. But going back to listen to this. This is what really drives me nuts. I hate this when they lie like this.
The underlying fundamentals of the economy were very strong before going into this pandemic.
They weren't strong before going into the pandemic. Without the pandemic, we would have collapsed anyway. How could they say we were strong? You had the same 5 stocks driving the stock market, which is not the economy. The economy, for heaven's sakes, is earnings. Earnings. And you get earnings by first you have to have good management that squeaks out a profit. They got to work hard to get a profit. Buy the materials at a discount. Keep looking for bigger discounts. Cut here, cut there. Try to get profits. Then once you get those profits, those turn into earnings. And then your stock goes up. We don't have any earnings. Earnings for 2019 were negative 0.4 for the first quarter. Second quarter was minus 2.6. First quarter was minus 0.4. Second quarter, minus 2.6. I'm telling you, minus 2.6. The third quarter was minus 2.2. Fourth quarter, minus 1.9. That was the first quarter. First to the fourth quarter, 2019. 2020, we started out the first quarter, negative 5.2. Then the pandemic hit, minus 43. But my point is, we didn't have a good economy. It was a terrible economy. It's being propped up by all this money that they keep putting into stocks to hold them up. Now, the real danger is that you got to understand, when you only have a few stocks holding up the market, and one of those stocks dropped 10%, just one of them, you got to get 100 stocks to rally, 100 stocks at an aggregate 90% to make sure the market doesn't go down, just to hold it even. That's awful hard to do. Unbelievable. So you got the March 23 lows. That's when everything started to rally. All right? Apple went up 126%. Microsoft went up 72%. Amazon 108%. Facebook 117%. Google 114%. Average out 107%. And that was off the lows that we had. That was off the March lows. March lows. 107% is what rallied the market. But here's more important than that. The return on investment. Return was 35% for 5 stocks. That's it. The other 495% had almost no returns. 5%. What are you, nuts? This is crazy. 5 stocks are doing all the lifting of the other 495. Narrow breadth is the biggest problem. Dangerous. Just one of those stocks goes down 10%, we're screwed. Valuations are another big problem. These 5 stocks have pushed the tech sector valuation premium to the highest in 20 years. Are you nuts? This is crazy. This is nuts. Between the end of March and to the end of August, during August when this was the best market since 1984, corporate bankruptcies reached
and exceeded those in 2009. So on one side, you got corporate bankruptcies reaching and exceeding those between 2008 and 2009. As the stock market's going up in August, and they tell you it's the best August ever since 1984, despite the fact that we have printing of money 24/7 of 608 million every hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 608 million. What's the Fed using that money? To purchase the corporate debt in this country. Instead of letting these companies go into bankruptcy, they're printing this money, which is killing your money, which is killing the purchasing power of your money, and that's why we're going to have inflation. We're going to have inflation. Because the more the dollar goes down, less you buy. You got to pay now $5 for something you paid 2 weeks ago, $2. You get my point. That creates inflation. That's going to take this market down. You got to raise rates to stop that inflation. When you raise rates to stop inflation, what do you think is going to happen with all the new housing? Everybody's buying a house now with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, 2.5. And now those mortgages go up. Those banks are going bust, and that's why Buffett sold the banks. In fact, if you think about it, while the stock market was soaring in August, giving us the best August since 1984, corporations were going bust at the fastest pace since the Great Depression. Oh, but they don't tell you that, do they? No. In fact, between the end of March and the end of August, corporate bankruptcies did exceed the bankruptcies we had between 2008 and 2009. The narrow breath is the killer. You understand? I mean, we just one stock. That's it. It's over. If it's not even the stock, just the relationship with China is worsening. That could take us down. Inflation will definitely take us down because they got to raise rates. We have no recovery. The breath is horrible. Inflation. Remember, inflation is a tax. It's a tax. And here's the problem. By decreasing the banks, when you have inflation, it decreases the reserve requirement at the banks. Banks are able to loan out of larger proportion of their cash. This increases the money supply, leading to higher inflation and lower Fed fund rates. Inflation, you're screwed. You have to pay more for the same goods and services you just paid, like I said, a week ago. So there's so many things outstanding here. And inflation, remember, not only reduces your purchasing power of the money you have, it hurts stocks, the dividends. Anybody's getting dividends? Inflation hurts those dividends in your stocks. Inflation, our price of goods increases. We can't compete with the imports. That means our trade deficits are widening. That could take the market down. Inflation, people save a lot less because they don't put money in savings. Why would you put money in savings when you got inflation of 7%? You look around for other ways to make money. And they usually end up losing money because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to invest. So, look, all I'm saying to you is join my gang. At least you can sleep at night. And all you have to do is stay with the stocks that we do a video on every day for you at 2 o'clock, and we post it. If you just do those stocks, stay with them, and follow the instructions, you'll do just fine. You don't have to worry. Join. It's free for 10 days and get my color-coded chart for 10 days. All free.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
I appreciate your skepticism about whether or not he is going to be successful in driving up inflation. But I think the problem is that he has no choice.
That's right. The Fed has no choice. Now, how do they drive up inflation? By screwing us. That's how they do it. So the banks, the Fed, what they do, they allow the banks to decrease their reserve, what they have set aside for bad loans. This is how they got in trouble last time. They keep on taking the reserve for bad loans, lowering it. By doing that, okay,
they can loan out a larger portion of their cash. This increases the money supply. Understand? Then that leads to higher inflation and a lower Fed fund rate. So again, it's hurting us. Now, inflation is a terrible thing for people who are making, think about it. 46% of the people in this country make $30,000 a year or less. You never hear that. That's from the Social Security. They know. 33% are in poverty. They make less than $20,000. So you understand what's going on? They're telling us how great this economy is. For who? The 1%? Yes. When you got 33% of 160 million people working, making less than 20 grand, and all Kudlow keeps talking about is the stock market. When 46% make $30,000 a year, stock market, they can't buy food, never mind stocks. 67% of 160 million people make less than 50 grand. Try to raise 2 kids on that. So even go in the stock market and buy Amazon or Google. 44% of all consumers can't cover their monthly expense. See, we're being lied to every day as to how well this economy was doing before the pandemic. And it gets me when they tell us that things were good before the pandemic.
The underlying fundamentals of the economy were very strong.
No, how can you say they're strong when you got 33% of our 160 million workforce making less than 20 grand a year? Are you nuts? 44% of all consumers can't cover their monthly expenses. They're going paycheck to paycheck and they're living on credit cards. This is all BS. We weren't doing good. We were doing terrible. In fact, the pandemic saved the deal. Because everybody could blame the pandemic is what they're doing. They should have been blaming Obama, or first Bush, who started with all the regulations. That's what I get a kick out of. And going to the Democrats, they're as bad. They're always supposed to be helping the people. Really? When Obama and Biden were president, they set an all-time record high of regulations on small businesses. 81,405 pages in 2010 alone. In fact, 6 of the 7 all-time high Federal Register page counts happened under Obama and Biden. It was costing small businesses $100 billion a year. He was killing small businesses, Biden and Obama. Bush was just as bad. Bush was a closet liberal. And the massive printing of money at 0 rates for the last 12 years is destroying the very group that the Democrats got up there at their whatever they call their thing, the DNC at their party. And they're out there and they're standing there one after the other at their convention going, we're for the small people. We're for the small people. While they're screwing them. We're for the small. No, you're not. If you're for the small people, you would never, first of all, put on these kind of regulations, which, by the way, Trump cut a lot of them. Still has to cut them. When you put on all these regulations, you can't start a business. So the working class, think about it. The Democrats, it's supposed to be for the working class. They're not. They don't want to hear about it. They're not. So let me tell you, the working class do not want to hear about how wonderful the stock market's doing from Larry Kudlow. 67% of the people who make less than 50 grand don't want to hear about it. Or the 46% who make 30 grand or less don't want to hear about it. Or the 33% who make 20 grand. They don't want to hear about how wonderful the market is and how they're going to grow the economy. They don't want to hear it. You know what they want to hear? They have good jobs. But you can't get good jobs unless the CEOs are pushing money, pumping money back into the company by buying new machinery and new equipment to increase productivity, which increases your wages and increase jobs. But they don't do that anymore. Trump should have stopped that. He should stop stock buybacks. He didn't. But I want you to think of something. Over the typical 12-month period, the odds of making money in stocks is 85%. Imagine 85%. It was 75, it's 85, because the market never comes down. Because we got the biggest Ponzi scheme going in the last 12 years. And it's still going. It's still going. Especially from now to November. And you got only 6 outlets of news that we got to listen to. 6. They're all owned by who? The 1/100th of 1 percentile. They're very, very wealthy. And they got to tell us, remember, they get their marching orders. But in spite of all this, I want you to understand, when they tell you how great this economy is, despite an $11 trillion injection of liquidity in government aid this year, 2020, stocks and bonds, they're at an all-time high. Look, we understand that. But remember, corporations are at an all-time low. Their yields, they're hurting. They're insolvent. Remember, you can't hide bad businesses by just pumping money to them. You can't hide that. You can't mask that. So to make money in the stock market, if you have extra money in the market, the biggest thing is make sure you're buying the right stocks, the ones that are on sale, the ones that are beaten down. Please don't go buy Apple. Don't go buy Google. Don't buy those. Buy stocks that were once $90 and now are $30. Good stocks, good companies. Those are the ones you're going to make money on. Stop with this going with these same 5 stocks. You're going to get killed. You're going to get hurt because you're not going to know when to get out. And those stocks are going to fall faster than 3 flying monkeys without a parachute. I'm telling you. And you're going to be in those. 70% of the people in those stocks should not be in them because they don't know what they're doing. 70% of the people in the 5 FANG stocks have no clue what they're doing. They're just following the herd. They're like cattle. You're going to get killed because you're not going to know when to get out. It's going to be too late. Be too late. And understand this. Banks are in such bad trouble. Remember, banks used to drive the S&P 500 stocks, which drove your stock. But now the banks aren't driving the S&P. What's driving the S&P to drive your stock if it isn't the banks? It's these stupid 5 stocks. They are taking the place of the banks. Are you kidding? They're not the lifeblood of our country, these 5 stocks. Banks are. So right now, as long as everything is being pushed to push these stocks up, all the engineering, let's stay long, let's keep buying, but we'll know when to get out. And I'm telling you, that's the key right now. Keep making money, but understand when to get. If you don't know how to get out, if you have no clue, if you have no exit strategy, especially if you're in the 5 stocks, do you have an exit strategy in your 5 stocks? Have you been taking profits? No. 99% of you won't even take a profit. You think it's going to go on forever, just like .coms. It's not. So right now, please, join my gang. Join us in buying some super stocks that are going to run between now and the election, like the cruise lines and the oil services and the airlines. And just try it for 10 days. It's free, not even charging you. And you see it works, for heaven's sakes. Stop buying the FANG stocks because they'll bite you. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.